That's better. You beautiful lot. My name's Jason. This is my 80's podcast. You put the boom boom into my heart. You beautiful lot. My name's Jason, and this is my 80's podcast. You put the boom boom into my heart. This is my revisit and react part of my show. So I've been given some good stuff to do, and I've been given, this is another good, this is just, for me, this is like, this is a bit like my absolute perfect situation. So this is in 1986, this is Kenneth Williams, who is just an absolute genius. So this is Kenneth Williams on the Joan Rivers show in 1986, on the Joan Rivers show called Chat, I think it was called Chat Show, called Can We Talk? And this is, I think, probably one of the first times she met him. She'd heard about him, but the first time she'd met him. And this, for me, having both of them together is just excellent and brilliant, and I loved it. And I remember seeing this I remember going back over 40 years ago, so I've not seen it since then. So this is my revisit and react to the amazing talent that is Kenneth Williams and Joan Rivers. Take a look at it. Go on.
How nice to meet you.
Thank God it's not PVC I'm sitting on.
Okay.
And that stuff, and so often you get PVC to sit on, and I have to be very careful, as you probably know. Yes, I've been in three times for the operation,
So
you know.
dry.
And are you
On the nether regions.
okay now?
Not really, no. I suffer very badly from wind.
His straight face.
A lot of bicidol and stuff like that, you know, and it's interfered with my career on more than one occasion. In fact, I remember a love scene with Maggie Smith, and I was kneeling. It was called The Private Ear in the Public Eye. And I was kneeling,
Brilliant.
and my speech to her was, "Let me be the frog, you know, that turns into the prince." And this inadvertent wind broke. And she said, when she was upstage, she said,
Kenneth.
"Front row heard that." And that didn't exactly help me, you know. When I went back afterwards, I said to her in the dressing room, "What did you say that for? They would have gone by ordinarily, you know." She says, "Best to air these things."
Oh man, Phil
The
Collins.
same
Look
thing
at that.
occurred with Joan Sims in Carry On Up the Khyber. I was the Qazi of Calibur I was playing.
I love the
Qazi of
film.
Calibur, they call me. And I had to say to her, "You are a jewel, my darling, you are a jewel." And then again, I broke wind, and they said, cut. And all the cameras stopped, and the director said, "That was heard on the soundtrack." And she rose in great hauteur and said, "How can you make love to people blowing off?"
Kenneth,
So disgusting. And they all went right off that. I said, "Oh, come off it, for goodness sake. You were none of us perfect. Even Valentino blew off." And she said, yes, but they were silent films.
Good old Joan. Jason, brilliant.
You're wonderful.
Yes, but I mean, we all do have these
Yes,
terrible weaknesses, don't we?
Well, see, when it's silent, it's okay, because then you just walk fast and pretend, you know, it wasn't you. If you're in an elevator, blame the person next to you. Just go, pig.
Yes. Exactly, yeah.
Now, when you first started out, when you first worked with Peter,
Oh, with
you had no
Peter, that
problems.
was Pieces
did
of
you? Yes.
Pieces of Eight, wasn't it?
There were no
Pieces of Eight.
problems in that show, certainly.
No, I was all right, in fact, and I was subjected to dreadful things because like, at the opening of the show, I was an angel, and the cast all sang, "Hallelujah, hallelujah," and then I descended and said, "Peace on earth and goodwill," as this angel on a wire. Do you remember? And they strapped this wire onto you with a harness around the crotch. It's suspended from the crotch. And of course that was really what started it. It was agony up the crotch. and then I came down and we went to go straight into this sketch where I was selling ties and shirts. That was the first one. And then I had another very funny thing he wrote for me about a man with a little box in which he said he had an asp. It's like an aspirin here. It's not a viper. Oh, no, it's an aspirin, my boy. And became absolutely manic and obsessed with what I got in my body. And it said, it's not a horse. Oh, no. No, I've got a horse in my box. Oh, no, it's not a horse box. And I haven't got a goldfish neither, because this box is not waterproof. They haven't waterproofed cardboard yet. Or if they have, they haven't told me. And it went on and on about how he had these fantasies about what he could have kept in the box. And the other man, it was a railway carriage. Water-plate railway carriage. And the other man was bored stiff. And he was saying, sure, I'm sure, it was a very interesting bore. It was weird,
You're
wasn't it?
incredible, the voices you do. You go from one character to another.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
it was part of the English scene, isn't it?
Oh. Do you find the English scene very different from the American scene?
Oh,
I read your books. Let me just, first of all, say they were wonderful.
Oh, it's
and
very
will you
sweet.
autograph them for me backstage?
Oh, yes, most certainly.
You do autograph?
Yes, we have autograph sessions in these shops. There was one where Monica Dickens, she was asked for an autograph session, and she wrote in, because the woman said Emma Chiswick, so she put with love to Emma Chiswick, and the woman said, what's you written in here? She said, your name, Emma. You said Emma Chiswick. She said, I said, how much is it? And she ruined the book. They could be disaster, these. They can be disaster, these sessions. What were you on about?
Do you find, because I read the books before you came on, and they said to me, now you may not understand some of this.
Yes.
Do you find American and English humor so different?
Yeah, I think there are certain, national characteristics, which don't translate awfully well. On the other hand, I think the content of humour is funny anywhere if it's, universal. I mean, if you get somebody like, for instance...
I could watch him all
Coral
day.
Brown.
A very good friend.
Yes.
I love her,
I like Coral. She was taken on the set of Oedipus Rex, the Peter Brook production, and the set predominantly was a huge phallus. It was 19 foot high and gold. And they said, what do you think of the set? And she said, well, it's no one I know. That, I think, would be funny anyway.
Wouldn't it be brilliant to have it on my set?
That would be funny anyway.
Do you laugh at our expressions?
Yes, I remember thinking, when I saw Jack Benny first, it was at the Palladium. And he came on, and his first words were, I agreed to do a charity show in your country. And he said, I agreed, because it was a charity, of course, to do it for nothing. I mean, it was a charity show. But I found afterwards that Eddie Cantor, on that bill, got $5,000. And he said, there was a slight pause. He said, Eddie Cantor needs $5,000, like a reindeer needs a hat rack. And they didn't laugh. You
Funny, very funny.
Well, I found that delightful.
Very funny.
Absolutely lovely.
I love him so
I'm looking at
much.
you, and you're a
And
very
her,
attractive man. And we've asked everybody else on the panel. And I'm just curious how you think of yourself. Like Phil came out and said he's a big lover, and we know about Dudley, And Samantha got coy, but we found out. And Peter tells you whether you want to know or not. How is your love life? How do you rate yourself as a lover?
Oh, I don't do it. I'm not interested. I know I'm asexual. I should have been a monk. I should have been a monk. No, I'm only interested in myself, and I would regard any kind of relationship as deeply intrusive. I mean, I regard I'm absolutely the most important thing in my life, and anything which invaded that would be a threat. So consequently, I live a life of celibacy. I'm not interested in the other. And from all I hear of other people's adventures in that sphere, I must say, I think, well, good luck to them. You're welcome. I wouldn't want any part of it. It seems to me a very messy business.
Good old
Now, there were 3 stories in the book that you in your books I read that I would love you to tell. What are you? My favorite, it's probably been told to death, but I got hysterical when I read it, was the Queen in the carriage with the horse.
Yes, that was in the What Majesty book by Robert Lacey. It was a potentate, and they had an open landau, and they were seated in it on the way to the palace. She met with Victoria, and the horse exploded violently. It was a terrible fart, and she apparently just said, whoops, pardon. And the black potentate said, it's perfectly all right, Your Majesty. If you hadn't spoken, I would have thought it was the horse.
Classic. So miscast.
Tell me what your favorite of all these anecdotes, all these lines that you've collected. What are your favorites of all?
Oh, that would be very difficult, really. I would say my favourite quote, yes, would definitely be Mae West, because she'd been bored to tears about it with one of these all-in wrestlers going on about the Nelson hold and the half Nelson hold, the whole endless saga about all-in wrestling. And she said, honey, if it's all in, why wrestle?
Honestly, I kid you not, I could absolutely watch Kenneth Williams all day. He just fascinates me. The way he carries himself, the way he spoke, and the way his comic genius was just, oh God, he was just. Do you know what? One of my favourite. I always remember as a kid watching Kenneth's advert, and it was, I think it was a chocolate. Yeah, it was a chocolate eclair advert where he. And this, I mean, I cried, taking my breath laughing, and all it was, Kenneth was in, there was a coffin, and the lid comes up, and Kenneth comes up, and he's got this eclair in his hand, and all he goes is, oh no, and that was the thing that literally did me in, and I couldn't, and you know, I kept going on and on, and you know, you play things over and over inside your mind. It just, I absolutely love Kenneth Williams. So that's my revisit and react to the amazing Kenneth Williams and Joan Rivers. Have a good day, you beautiful lot.